Howdy, howdy, pirates. It's me, Solhex here. So my fleet is repaired, and from last test on the 117 and 112, the 112 was a failure because I didn't have enough sprints on my fleet. The 112 has a shitload of frostbites, cold snaps. So this time I am compensating that with my other Zelos. Now it's not as good as my anti-mortar Zelos, but it has 4 sprints, and theoretically that should help. It does have less projectile speed, so we'll see about that. But without further ado, let's test this tank, monolith tank, out. Now, I did the 117 yesterday, and I didn't really have a really good test on the 112, so here's the 112 right here. Hopefully this is a full one. I highly doubt people are doing them, so let's get this going. Alright, well, that was the 112 test. Um, it's a little bit more damage than I thought, mainly because I got hit by a couple of mortars. Now, that's because my Zelos isn't really properly built for the 117, 112 targets, because it doesn't have as many anti-mortars as I want. If I wanted, I'd probably take off the Phalanx 4s and the missile and replace them with Gales. And I also would have subaquatic propellants to increase the countermeasure reload and projectile speed. But that's not bad. So mortars did hit me. It didn't look like it's like probably the one or two of them hit me because my monoliths are not dead and they don't have any defense on them. So if they got hit by a lot of mortars, then he'd be screwed. But so you can't. No. What's the damage on the dragon? So the dragon's 43 minutes and then 112. And I believe the 117 is 1 hour 9 minutes, if I recall. So I wonder. I want to try another test. Here we go. Okay, this is actual my 117 counter Zelos. I want to see how it does whenever I tank. I'm going to use one full one of the tank and then have these guys come in behind the Zelos, or rush it. So don't know how that'll do, but that's an hour repair right there. Let's put something else in repair. Might as well. But just separate that off and instant repair it, but that's really not hard. So let's try 117 with this type of kind of motion-ish. Because stacking the dragons, all the dragons will get hurt. If you have one tank, then it will only hurt that one tank, and if you keep the other dragons behind, kind of like how I do my Zelos, theoretically, it will be fine. Now the Zelos will get hurt. So let's test that out real quick.
far away. See the lights on the other side. I'm going to get there. I hope we will meet there. Going to get there. I hope we will meet there.
Okay, so that was interesting, to say the least. Um, one missile got through. That's damage on the Zelos. There's a little bit of damage on this one dragon. This one dragon was full health, but that's a lot of damage on the tank. And it did, some of it didn't really go as well as I was hoping. I mean, it works, but sometimes I didn't have the fleet hitting the turrets right, because I was hoping that it focus on the front dragon and then the rear dragons will come up and be in range of it or something. But it's hard to drive that. It's really hard to drive it in that type of situation. And I mean, I could do another test with it because this one dragon. But let's check out what's the damage on this dragon real quick. An hour and 13 minutes damage. So doing this tanking method, it seems like it is either an hour and 9 minutes or hour 13 minutes, depending on, I guess, fleet. An hour and 9 minutes was the monoliths. I've had monoliths behind, so that's something there. And then this 1 hour 13 minutes is the other dragons behind it. So I don't know. I think. How much does one little missile do? One little missile does 46 seconds. Okay. So that's one little splash missile does 46 seconds. And then if you get hit enough, you get, an hour's worth of shit. So, granted, you can do that type of driving. I'll probably do it again here. I'll test it out with this dragon real quick. But I did get hit by one missile. And then you could do that until, I guess, all dragons are dead, but really, it's better than doing one target and taking 4 or 5 hours damage. I say that. Is it practical? No. Do I like doing it? No. But it's a way to do it, so let's keep on doing it. How much points do I have? It's just 900. So I got everything. And the sad part is, I really feel sorry for the people who don't have all the prizes. They have to grind this shit, grind it to get all this stuff, and then there's a little bit of hope, for people, that can do, oh hey look, they're doing it within, they're doing it pretty easily for maybe 30 minutes damage, maybe whatnot, and this happens. That's really, if I was one of those players, I'd lose hope right there. But, so let's see if I can remake that driving instance, or hopefully it'll be better. The lead ship got 1 hour 13 minutes damage. Let's see if I can beat that time. Highly doubt it, but it's worth a shot.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Connect the dots straight to the start of intoxicating want. Lingering touch, these soft words whispered in the dark. Set my heart on fire.
Okay, okay. Seems like about the same. I thought I saw my explosive charged armor flash one time during the end of that target, so I think it got hit by a mortar. I'm not entirely too sure. But So that might add to my repair time. Mortars do kind of suck. Alright, so let's check out the repair time on this one. Yeah, I got hit by a mortar. But basically, it's just around the same time. 1 hour 13, 1 hour 16. That's 3 minutes damage. That's interesting. A mortar does 3 minutes damage to me. So I don't know what's to think. And you have to drive really carefully in that target if you're wanting to do the dragons. But honestly, I kind of prefer the monoliths because you don't really have to worry about getting too close, having to, get in range of the targets because the remote target range on the monolith is, pretty decent. I mean, they're damaged right now, but honestly, that I would prefer the monoliths doing this tanking method than the other dragons. The other dragons you can just keep on, doing it. Just swap out the tanks, and if something happens, one of your dragons dies, well, you could just bring them up to the second dragon and do that. But I don't know. It's a new day. Don't know if they've changed anything or will change anything. So we'll have to check that out and see. So I hope this helps you, pirates, because I don't know. I don't know what else I can do to end these targets. It's a mystery to me. So um, I'll post the. I mean, I'll have it right here, but I'll also post the monolith build in the description. I highly suggest, you know, don't make monoliths for the 117. We don't know if it's going to be full change or not. But if you have extra monolith tokens lying around, or you have monoliths that you didn't scrap, like I scrapped mine, then you could try this out, see if you like it. Um, but I highly suggest if you do try it out, drive it like how I drive it. Um, it's kind of would be hard to drive because the monolith and zealots are faster than dragons, so you'll have to kind of be nitpicky there in driving the dragon. So, um, but I'll post my dragon build, I'll post the zealous build, and then the new monolith build, and I have some idea, or had some ideas for the icebreaker um, build that I haven't tested it out. I'm not sure if I'm able to test it out because of this change, which makes me wonder what's the. If I still got a day for retrofitting this sucker. So yeah, it's going to 2. I haven't been doing it as much because I really saw a need for it. But I mean, for testing purposes, it helps to retrofit it, so I'll retrofit it. My monoliths are also not retrofit as well, so that might cause some little discrepancies there. So, yeah, I'll post my builds on in the description, as well as people who don't want to wait for all that stuff. I'll do a time snaps, so snap y'all the times that y'all want. Because I know how it feels. I don't want to sit there and wait for people to talk and like blah blah blah. Just to the meat, get to meat, and so I'll do that for y'all. So until next time, pirates. Good luck on the FM. That's all I can say.